Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beat your price. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beat your price.
I knew it. Another Herdat Media production.
Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes, happy Tuesday.
Yeah, we're doing a hot topic episode because I feel like a lot's kind of happened in the last 24 hours.
Oh, for sure. Even over the weekend, and we haven't spoken since then.
Oh, I didn't know anything happened on the weekend.
I'm saying like over the weekend, two things can happen.
Oh, okay. Well, did anything happen, Boo?
I don't know. I'm going to look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we have some really interesting hot topics to cover, and they're actually pretty serious.
Yes, for sure.
So Tamra, we know that she went on the reunion, and she has implied that she and Shannon are basically good. Like, we're going to be surprised. Kelly Dodd even inserted herself, and Kelly Dodd said that the reason that they probably did get good is just to save both of their jobs, which I could kind of see.
Yeah. And again, like, especially Bravo, especially Andy, they always want resolution. And if you're going to come in and be like, I'm not speaking to her, I don't want to,
especially after the season she had.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Tamra told people that Shannon's been close to me for a long time. I can't really give anything away. I think everybody's just going to be a little bit surprised. I love hard and then I will fight hard. It was a hurtful situation for me as well. Keep in mind, right before the reunion, Tamra said, I'm not going to make any resolution. Like, we're not going to be okay. We're done, me and Shannon. And Chantel and I have said, if we go back and listen to our episodes, we're like, remember this moment when we tell you exactly what's going to happen, because this always happens with Tamra. Yep. She, ends up saying how they mean so much to her. And she's basically telling People Magazine, hey, we're good. So Kelly Dodd chimed in, and Kelly Dodd was like, they made up to save both their jobs. Which is
just like, be authentic at the end of the day. You can still say maybe like, hey, I hear your apology, but I don't forget. And then like, let's see from there. But it's like, if you're going to go and act like how you always act, that's going to piss me off too. Like, I don't even want to watch that.
Yeah. It sounds like things are good just based on what she's saying, what she's implying. It sounds like things are good. And, we expected that because that's classic Tamra. So, yep. So then right after that, Tamra does a podcast with her and Teddy. And it's pretty serious. And she says that she went to a therapy session and she found out she's on the spectrum. And then she does that thing where she makes the cry faces, but no tears come out. And I do want to say my take on this. I do feel like Tamra Judge needs a PR crisis team ASAP. She reveals she's now in therapy, and only after one session, her therapist told her that she's on the spectrum. She proceeded to say that she has a hard time with empathy and feeling other people's feelings. She also blamed trauma. And then Eddie Judge came out and he blamed editing for Tamra's behavior, saying he loves and stands by the real Tamra, not TV Tamra. And then Tamra acts the same way she does on the show, on her podcast, in interviews, in real life. I feel like Tamra's real diagnosis is that she's a narcissist. I feel like, or she has multiple personalities. But this reminds me of when Tamra had a horrible season. So the next season, she came back as a born-again Christian, got baptized, and she was decent for one season. So this comes across as convenient.
And it's hard because it's very sensitive, especially what she's claiming. And I think they even they blocked their comments off of
they
something.
Did. Off everything. Off TikTok, off Instagram. No one can comment unless they follow them. And I was reading comments and people were saying how they have adult children on the spectrum who are kind and gentle and thoughtful. So I think it's really disrespectful to people who are actually on the spectrum, because everyone who is saying after one therapy session, you would not be, no therapist could diagnose you with that.
Yeah, we had a comment. I want to read it. It was on one of our comments, and it goes, "This literally makes me feel sick. Part of my job encompasses working with people on the spectrum. They're the most kind and happy individuals. Watching her twist it for her own benefit and use it as an excuse because she can't apologize for her vile behavior or as a daughter, friend, mom, and grandmother herself is absolutely disgusting. She's complete trash. She keeps piling up reasons for her to be and go be, and she's like, she is pathetic." And it's just so crazy that she just can't own up to it, and she has to diagnose, or someone has to diagnose her for what she's doing. Like, why can't you just own that you're being a shitty person?
Yeah. And then you took it too far. I don't know if she thought that this would land or be relatable, but it had the opposite effect, because people are literally going off right now for a good reason. I just feel like, and I don't know, like, if I was Teddy, I would be like, Tamra, I don't think people are going to take this how you think they are. And let's say that, you know what, she is on the spectrum. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
I want to hear your take on if she is. Go ahead.
If she is, that's fine. I don't think that's something that you announce after one therapy session. That's something you work on, you know, with you and your therapist. And maybe a couple months from now, or maybe a year from now, you say, this is what I've been going through.
Yes.
But after one therapy session, and to announce it to the world, it just feels, again, convenient.
Yeah. Exactly. Or it's like, you know, if you are going to go on the show again, like, maybe that it would be your journey, and you highlight that journey in a real raw way. If this is really legit, this is really what your therapist is saying to you, and you're thinking that this is now, you know, after 57 years, you finally figured this out, you know, you should display that in like a real authentic way, not just like, hey guys, I'm on the spectrum and that's why I have no empathy. Cause like people on the spectrum have the most empathy.
She did. I know we both didn't listen to it, so I don't want people to be like, you didn't listen, but I did. So I did read like another clip of her saying that she's been through trauma. She kind of like what Emily does, where Emily just like constantly talks about her childhood, which I get it. Again, we're like Middle Eastern, we're like hard. We also like struggle with emotion, but we're very self-aware and in tune with how we could make someone feel. So I think that's what her issue is she's just mean. And I don't like when people use that as an excuse to be a mean person. Yeah. And just because we're not as emotional doesn't mean that we know we're aware that other people are emotional, and that people, you know, would take something a little bit more sensitive than we might. And that's okay. So, I mean, and the thing with her, she's been on a lot of podcasts as well, and she's supporting her opinion on the Shannon situation. So she's been saying, like, I stand by how I am. And then you have Eddie right now where he says, let me say, quote him exactly. He says, the TV is not the same Tamra I married and love. I'll support her always because I know the real Tamra. This message is for everyone who currently has toxic people in their life, because he posted something about victim. And then he says, I love my wife to Mars and back. Well, the real Tamra, not the TV show Tamra that has been adversely edited. And isn't Tamra the first to always say, because she recaps all the other shows, she says, I hate when housewives blame editing.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
Yeah. So she always does that. And then Gretchen, and listen, by the way, Eddie should support his wife. I'm not saying that.
100%. Yeah.
Every man should support their wife no matter what. But, you know, hold her accountable and be like, you know what, Tamra did some stuff and she's not happy. We're both not happy with it, but she's going to learn and be better. And she does regret things. You know, she watching back, she can see how people took it. And instead, again, Tamara's sticking with things. And she's like, yeah, the reason that I was mean to Shannon is because she did a hit and run and she got a DUI. Shouldn't everyone be mean to her? And it's like, again, classic Tamara kicking someone while they're down. She's like, perfect. That's the new target. So Gretchen went through quite a bit, you know, with Tamra and Tamara going after her and Slade. And Gretchen said, these two can't keep their story straight. So let's get this straight. She claims she's a truth teller and the most honest cast member, but now her own husband says the TV Tamra is not the real Tamra. These two are clowns trying to do damage control.
I agree. I really do. It's just like a lot coming at once. It's like, show us with your actions and your deeds, not by your words. Like, let's see the change. Like, if you guys really want this, let's see the real Tamra then. Like, why doesn't the real Tamra show us?
And someone wrote,
like, and not for anything, sorry. Like, we've literally seen Tamra for the last, 14 seasons. Like, we don't know who she is now.
Yeah. And then someone said he has no other choice. He relies on her income as well.
No.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so I don't know. So now, like, you have Eddie coming out the same day saying it's editing. You have Tamra coming out saying she's on the spectrum. She should have never. I really thought that she thought it was going to be relatable just because people are so open about it now. And it is, common, but it didn't land at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this definitely seems like damage control that she thought would be a good idea, but she definitely needs to hire someone.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like, why would Teddy allow that? I don't know.
I know when people do that, I'm like, they're not a good friend to you. They're not a good friend.
It seemed like she knew what she was going to say. Cause she's like, oh no, I don't know.
Oh my God. It was, because we both just saw a clip, so we don't listen, but like we both just saw a clip. So yeah. And it was just like, and it's like, yeah, and then again, she does that thing where she cries and there's no tears. I hate that.
And I think I think it was Gretchen too. She said something like, oh, you can show empathy now. You can show that your emotions now, and you can't ever else on the show or something. Like someone commented that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy because Teddy has said, it is hard to watch Alexis on Orange County, and she's held her accountable. So it's like, if Teddy is seeing that in regards to Alexis, who Tamra is backing, sure enough, she's seeing what Tamra's doing and saying, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just found that to be interesting, and I wanted to get everyone's take about that, I
mean, from what I'm seeing, I don't think I saw one person say something nice.
I know, not at all. I'm like, this made things worse. You just need to, honestly, she needs to step back from the podcast, take a break, and just kind of find herself. But I don't think she's capable of that. Like, she's so obsessed with being involved, and, I don't think she's capable of just kind of setting herself free and just worrying about herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought was interesting. So Kelly Dodd, she had appeared on Teresa's podcast, and she spoke about her firing with Andy Cohen. And I thought it was interesting because she says, I don't think Andy fired me or he wanted to fire me. I think Bravo and Evolution wanted to fire me. I think he probably had some say, but Andy and I have always had a good rapport with each other. I think he's an awesome person. I like him. And when that Leah stuff came on, I'm like, they don't even force you to drink. They don't force you to do anything on these shows. He texted me and said, thank you for sticking up, because I cannot stand Brandi Glanville and I cannot stand Leah. I just, I'm team Andy on that. Are you surprised?
No, but I think that's like a bold statement, because just because that didn't happen to you doesn't mean it didn't happen to other ladies. Like, everyone has different experiences. So I think that was just bold for her to say.
But I also think we do put a lot of pressure on Andy Chantel, and it's not like he is the host at the end of the day, and he asks the questions that people want to know at the reunion, and sometimes people are happy with them and sometimes people aren't. But I don't think he's 100% the deciding factor.
No, I think we've always said that. Like, that would be such a hard job to have to play.
You're always not making someone happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like he gets a lot of blame, and people find him, I don't know. It's a lot. It would be a lot to have his job.
Yeah, because he tries to stay neutral, but then he wants to build relationships, but then he can't take it too far because then they get mad. And then
look what happened with Bethany.
Yes, Yeah. And then Bethany and Nene thing.
It was the one time he befriended someone, and Bethany felt like, which I could see Bethany's side, where she felt like, Andy, took things far on Watch What Happens Live. And it's like, if you're my friend, why would you do that? And then now he's like, dude, I actually consider her my friend, and now she's going against me, and she's talking to the people who, are coming out against me. So he probably after that is like, I have to be very cordial with these people. Yeah. And that's it. Another interesting thing was Melissa had, I don't know where she had said this, but she had said that someone had asked who is most likely to call paparazzi on her cast. And she said that Jennifer Aiden is most likely to call the paparazzi on herself. And Jennifer actually responded after she caught wind of the claims. It's on allabouttrh.com. But Jennifer said, I wouldn't even know who to call. Maybe I should ask her for their number for the next time I get my mail or get gas. Hashtag RHONJ. Because there are, photos of Melissa in this bizarre, the see-through outfit getting gas. And she has tons of
Pride. It was for Pride or something. And she remember was going to do Pride, and she has this weird see-through outfit on or something.
And then there's also paparazzi photos of Melissa getting the mail. I mean, I just think that's rich. See, that's the stuff that bothers me, that I even feel like Tamra Judge does. They say something that they do. For example, Tamra came out with the Gen 8 and blogger stuff when everyone talks to bloggers, right? And then all of a sudden we find out that Tamra during, the Gretchen season would ask this person who was an acquaintance and who had like Twitter and all that stuff to put out bad stuff about Gretchen and Slade. And he released it and he put it all out there. And it's like, it's always those people. That's why I always say, like, even when Tamra comes hard for Shannon about the drinking and driving, which is a terrible, horrible thing. I don't know why, but I always feel like the most loudest people who won't stop talking about it, they do those things.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
and what's even embarrassing is like people, like especially the people that know the inner workings and how these things work, the fact that they know that you're calling these people. And that's like why it was such a big deal, I think, around the time for the OC and the Heather thing, because they all know if these people are getting photos, that they're the ones called that person, or their PR did, or someone did on their behalf, So it would just be so embarrassing if I was a housewife and I saw that, knowing like what we know.
Just know that there's like no paparazzi in New Jersey. You're not just like chilling in Orange County to wait for a housewife. Those are typically planned, unless like you're a big housewife. Like I feel like if you're Kyle Richards, that's different. Teresa, even very different,
or like when like there was like scandal with Kim Zolciak, like when there's something scandal, or like Erica Jane, when there's like a scandal happening, of course, like people want to see where you're up to and what you look like, but there's no scandal around you, boo boo.
Yeah. Now let's touch on Potomac, Chantel. What are we thinking about Potomac this season?
I like it. I'm liking
this.
So the one thing I will say is like it is funny, especially seeing Giselle and Wendy having to sit down because both of their...
Let's take a quick break and talk about one of our sponsors, HelloFresh. Make this fall the tastiest season yet with farm fresh produce and easy autumn-inspired recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh has tons of options for whatever you're craving. Choose from a changing menu of over 50 recipes each week, plus take your pick from over 100 market add-on items like dessert, breakfast, and snacks. Working full-time and having 4 kids, it's almost impossible to go to a grocery store. That's why I always lean on HelloFresh. Convenience is everything, and they make it so convenient. Plus, their food is so tasty. Their presto, pesto, panko chicken is my favorite. Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free-TRH. Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free-TRH.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Sidekicks are not there. We kind of touched on this last week, but it really does go to show you that they had to have this sit down because both Robin and what's her name wasn't there. So
yeah, Candace. Because I even think about, and I know I always reference New Jersey, but because they're so divided, I always think about. I guarantee Rachel and Teresa would be able to be cordial if Melissa wasn't in the picture. Where Rachel feels like loyalty towards Melissa and stuff. So I feel like, if they were to bring back, like, let's say Teresa and Rachel and Dolores and, whoever, I just feel like it could be different when you don't feel like I have to be loyal to this person. And I feel like Robin and Giselle had that where they were like loyal towards each other and they were comfortable being on the outs because they had each other, and same with Candace and Wendy.
Yeah.
So this episode was interesting because Giselle, she actually invited all the ladies for an event that her and Ashley Darby were hosting for their GNA brand. They were partnering with National Brain Tumor Society. And this comes 10 months after Giselle lost her father to a brain tumor. So, she was very close with her dad. Horrible thing. So she invites all the ladies, and this is so messy.
No, this was on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it's like, Karen, you're already gonna look bad with this whole DUI situation twice. You're twice DUI.
Yeah.
And you go and do this.
Yeah, so Karen then surprised the ladies by inviting them to this event where she was given an award that would be the same time as Giselle's event. And so everyone had to pick between events. And Karen is annoyed with Giselle. They're able to be good, but I think Karen doesn't like Giselle's digs because, Giselle, she is messy at times where she tries to throw in a dig. And you can tell that Karen is all about reputation, even though, this is her second one and she clearly hasn't learned. So she doesn't like that Giselle will make jokes at her expense because, she cares so much about her reputation and whatnot. So Karen was messy, and she intentionally did this knowing that the ladies are probably closer to her. And I don't know. I thought, what'd you think about it? I mean, I think Giselle found it very messy and strange and all that stuff. And
and especially because they just had the conversation at her house, and then she was like, I'm sorry, that's the day, maybe like, whatever. But then to go and invite the ladies and then make sure that there's transportation for them because she wants all these people there. I think it was Mia who said it. She's like, Karen just likes attention. And it really is just so true. Like, that's just how she is.
Yeah, she made it easy. And it was funny because Giselle said in a confessional, she said, I got an invitation to this like 3 months ago from someone else. And guess who wasn't on the list? Karen, the freak Huger. Like, that's what she said. And so she says that someone couldn't make it, and she feels like Karen kind of chimed in and like asked to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Giselle was like, I just threw her a party. That's not what friends do to each other. And again, I can see Giselle's frustration, but I think that Karen is not happy. Karen even says the mocktail thing. Like, she didn't like that, Giselle did that. And so I think she's trying to get back to her, get back at her. But I think the ladies were messy because this had a lot to do with Giselle's father. And I know they were like, well, we want to see Karen get an award. But I just felt like, they're honoring
they're just
Karen.
picking sides at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it was Mia, I think, that said Karen needed attention.
Mia. Yeah, Mia.
Oh, I don't know if you had said Wendy.
No, Mia. No, Wendy was like, I'm going to Karen's. Like, she for sure, like,
you guys, well, Giselle is like, she was like, my event is in honor of my father. What she's being honored for is what? Running into a tree. And I was like, well, that's why Karen, is doing what she's doing. And Karen, she even said, like, I'm more likable than Giselle. So she knew what she was doing.
Is the new house girl, is her name Stacy, right? The one that is from Detroit?
Yeah, Stacy.
Yeah. Hey, Stacy. We're from Detroit.
Yeah. They were, so they showed up after 8 p.m. to the event, and then the event ended at 9. And Wendy and the other one, I don't even think did they go, Wendy? I don't think Wendy did.
No, she went to Karen's.
Yeah, she stayed at Karen's, but then Mia, was it Jesse and Stacy? They went, but then I would be pissed too. Do not show up. If you're showing up after 8 p.m., do not show up 30 minutes before my event ends. That's so messed up.
No, I thought it was so messy.
Yeah, like Karen was being so shady. And then and then in the text, Karen tells them to go to Giselle's or go to hers first and then go to Giselle's. And I was like, okay, who are you to say where they should go first and whatnot?
She had the transportation set up for them.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like some people are kind of like, well, at least they try to make Giselle's event, but at the end of the day, they all knew what Karen was doing. And if I was Giselle, I would be like, dude, we're trying to have resolution. And I think that's why Giselle and Karen are getting along and stuff, because I feel like producers said we need to fix this, but then they're still being like messy, low key.
They have been the whole like 9 seasons though. Like they're good one season, they're messy one season. They hate each other. But they've always been like back and forth. Though.
I know. Well, a lot of people because a lot of people aren't, the fondness of Giselle, and a lot of people were saying, I can't even believe I'm defending Giselle.
Yeah, but me too. That's
because people are saying Karen's award was like fake.
You guys, like, that's why sometimes, like, especially now that we have our audios, like, I'm so scared that people are gonna call me hypocrite, because each season I'll literally say I don't like this person, and it takes one season for me to turn on them, because you and I did not like Giselle either, or Robin, and like this episode, I'm like, wait, I kind of feel bad for her.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this whole thing was just so messy. So I mean, like it's mean just because like it was like her dad's involvement, like her dad was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so can we go back to the new girl, Stacey? Because I want to know what you think about her and the whole like situation of like the divorce. She hasn't told her daughter. They're still living under the same roof. Like, what do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think to me, that maybe they're at least, it shows me that they can co-parent and are cordial in front of their daughter if they're able to live with each other as they're going through a divorce. So it's like, if that's the energy you guys have, like if you guys are able to do that, then that's good. And, I mean, I don't know.
It It was just ironic that Ashley's like, girl, I don't think you guys should be living under the same roof when everyone
that
told
was
her
weird. That was weird. See the hypocrisy. I guess we're all hypocrites because her saying that when people were questioning her and Michael's whole situation was very weird. I feel like I'm going to like her though.
Yeah, me too.
I want to know what everyone thinks about her. And again, like I still just feel really bad for Nneka. And I'm like, why is Nneka not on the show?
I know.
So
did you reach out to her?
me.
We need to reach out to her.
I know I need to, yeah. Because like it's so crazy to me. Like she had so much potential to be on the show, but I guess like Wendy really truly did hate her. I don't know. Is there anything else that happened over the weekend, Chantel?
No, I looked at your website, all by TRH, and you spoke about it all.
Yeah, I know.
But I am going to see Taylor Swift this weekend, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to Miami. So if you guys are going, let me know.
Oh, yeah, that is so exciting. Chantel's like living her best life per usual. I will be at home, and my kids don't have school 2 days out of the week. So I'm like, great.
Sex to suck. I'm just
kidding. Oh, gosh. Sex to suck. Dang it. But yeah, that's going to be so much fun for you. So we'll have like Orange County covered on Friday. Chantel, we're going to get into Salt Lake City. We're going to also go on one of our friends' podcast. I don't know when he's going to release it, though, so I guess we'll wait to see when he releases the episode. So we still have a pretty busy week. I'm excited because at the end of the month, we're doing an interview. I don't know. I know we talked about this on Patreon, but we're doing an interview with Tracy from Jerseylicious. And I absolutely loved that show. So we're excited to do that. That will be at the end of the month. But yeah, I think that's like all. We just wanted to kind of cover what's going on. And then talk. And
then make sure you guys are watching House of Villains. It's so good so far. So
yeah. Oh yeah, yep. We recapped that on our Patreon. So we did recap House of Villains. So, but yeah, I think that's all that we have. We will be back later this week. So thank you guys for listening, and we hope you guys are having a great week so far.
Bye guys.
Bye.